What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 88 of the Rise to Glory, here with Gibraltar Apex, and today I have a live commentary for you guys against Barcelona here in the Champions League. We are, of course, at the Victoria Stadium, our own stadium, currently going through some renovations that started at the end of last year. We're set to move back in March, where we will have a capacity of 9,918, which is pretty decent. Anyway, you might be able to tell in my voice, still not well. It's actually been a few days since the last episode because, well, I had to rest. If you didn't see the last episode, you missed out. My voice just stopped functioning. It was a good time. Today, as I said, we're going to continue on with Barcelona. Anyway, 4 games to talk about since the last episode. Some pretty good results in here, but that's kind of to be expected at this point. We beat Europa Point 13-0 in the opening league game. We then actually beat Inter 5-1 in the Champions League, and this is a game where I feel like we should just watch the highlights and watch the goals because it was quite an interesting game, really. It was a game which, well, we won fairly convincingly at the end, but a sending off, I believe when the scores were 2-1, kind of sealed the deal for us, and we really took off from there and kind of made the game as you can see there, an element of fortune perhaps about the first goal. Cafe crossing to the back post, the keeper kind of screwed up dealing with the cross in the end. I believe it was Russo who was there to sweep up, and it was Russo again, actually. Again, his second goal of the game after just 3 minutes. A great player, Russo, but of course on loan from Inter Milan, so that was a little bit amusing. As much as we got perhaps a lucky goal against Inter, their goal there, you can see a bit of a dodgy keeping mistake by Young. Fortunately for us, however, with the sending off happening midway through the first half, Inter, you know, they were struggling a little bit, and in the end we put them to the sword. You can see Russo getting another goal there. He got a hat-trick against his former club, or not his former club because he's still contracted to them, but against Inter. Great performance there. And yeah, this was just a really great performance. To win 5-1, you know, it helps our goal difference a ton. Inter beat Barcelona, and definitely the sending off in this game had a big impact in the game. But we took chances that came our way, and we just looked very good. Cafe with a very nicely placed header there to get the 5th of the game, and that is how it finished, 5-1. A great result. It's a shame we weren't live commenting it, but we knew we weren't going to do that one. We will have to do, I guess, the next game against Inter, which in fact is going to be the last game of the Champions League group stage this year. Anyway, 2 more games to talk about. We beat Britannia 12-0, so that wasn't too bad, having won the previous game in the league 13-0. And to wrap up the league results, we beat Angels 9-0. So we've not conceded yet. Obviously, we're still going for that perfect season where we don't concede. And, well, I don't know, to score 34 goals in 3 games, you know, it's not too shabby at the moment. Either way, in terms of our team for today's game against Barcelona, it's going pretty well. You look at the team, there's a few injuries to speak of, and also Paul Smith is suspended for 1 European game. Bit of a shame that Russo's out injured. He pulled his hamstring in training, which is a real shame, really. Henderson, however, who I think he had some kind of ligament damage. I think it was strained knee ligaments. Almost back to full fitness. 3 days left for him. And so it's not too bad, I guess. Looking at our team, obviously a little bit of rotation here and there. Gier and Oakley going to play up front. Almeida, the player who we signed from Chelsea to play left back, will play left midfield for us today. He's a very good pacey player, so I have kind of faith, I guess, in him to really put in a good performance here. We then have JJ, Bouchard and Cafe to round up the midfield. At the back we go with Young, and then Marriott, Helmes, Freire and Evans. So all in all, a pretty good team, I feel like. We are going to do both games against Barcelona, I think, this episode, because they are back-to-back. So we will be going to the Bernabeu on... Oh, okay, I've dropped a bomb there. The Camp Nou. Why have I just said Real Madrid's ground? Please, if you're a Barcelona fan, please pretend that didn't happen. That's very embarrassing. I'm going to blame it on the fact that I'm still ill and I'm still recovering, even though that definitely isn't a valid excuse. Either way, let's just get into the game, shall we? No new transfers to speak of. The transfer window, of course, been closed for a while now. Have been looking at some potential players to maybe sign in January, but nothing to speak of just yet. Looking at the team, it's a pretty good team all in all. We lack a little bit of strength out wide on the bench, but that is just down to kind of the injuries we've got and where we are missing a few players. I think we're going to bring in Christian Mendes, the Colombian 18-year-old who actually scored in one of our league games to get his first ever league goal. I think we'll put him on the bench just so we do have that right midfielder option. Either way, let's get into today's game. It's going to be against Barca. It's going to be a tough game. I feel like we're still on the 4-4-2 attack. In fact, no, we're not. I did set it up in advance. We are playing on the counter. Trying to encourage the players. I kind of screwed up our team talk initially by saying I expect them to pick up from where they left off. However, you know, we'll see what we can do here. We're against Barcelona. It's not an easy game. I said from the start of this group stage, you know, top 3 is the aim. Make sure we get to a knockout stage of a European competition. It's worth noting Inter did beat Barca. So, by the logic that we beat Inter 5-1, this should be an easy game. It's not going to be an easy game, of course, because football doesn't work like that. But we'll see what we can do here. Barcelona, in this save, they've not been in the top 2 in Liga BBVA in a while, and, well, we might be able to do something here. As Jer brings the ball forward, tackled, however, and now Kennedy bringing it forward for them, the number 9. Can someone put in a tackle? They can't. He goes for the speculative long shot. And it does go a little bit wide of the mark. I've noticed a few familiar names at Barcelona. Ter Stegen still in goal for them. They do also have Neymar still, although I was looking at him. He is not the player he once was. His pace really dropped off. And we might have a chance here. Jer can't squeeze it into Stegen. Undeniably a great goalkeeper. And really bailing Barcelona out there. Although Helmez wins the header and it goes wide. I mean, we've had our first clear-cut chance, our first real chance of the entire game. It was our first shot on target. We've not taken it, and now Kennedy bringing the ball forward. I mean, he loves a long shot. He just wants to score a screamer against us. I guess it's fortunate they don't often go in FM, really. But anyway, 40 minutes gone. No, it wouldn't be a bad result at home, but really, if we want to get top 2 in the group, which is what the board want, a win here would be pretty kind of valuable in, I guess, attaining that. Either way, at half-time, it's 0-0, and part of me wants to switch to the 4-4-2 attack. I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to go YOLO, boys. We're just going to see what we can do, I guess, going forward. We are at home, of course, and I don't feel like Barcelona are completely outclassing us, especially in that first half. They didn't tear us apart, so maybe going on attack, maybe we can create a little bit more. We'll see what we can do here. Bouchard to Cafe. Players on the overlap on the right side. Cafe whipping a ball. He does. It's in. It might be an own goal, but I don't care. It is an own goal by Solo Zabal, the centre-back for them. Their right centre-back. I'm not going to complain. It was a lovely ball into the area by Cafe, and, well, switching to attacking seems to have worked absolute wonders. I cannot complain about that by any means. Oakley to Cafe. Whips the ball in. And then, I mean, it's Jer going for the ball. I guess he's forced the error there by the centre-back. A tricky situation to be in. Kind of running back towards your own goal, trying to stop the attacker getting to it. And in the end, he does make contact with the ball. Unfortunately for him, it's meaningful contact. That means it ends up in the back of his own net. And, well, we might be on the attack again here. Jer hunting down the play. Back to Ter Stegen, however. Can we win the ball in the midfield? We can. Cafe. Now we can build again. Cafe, of course, got that assist for the own goal. And now Oakley going through. The young Englishman. Options in the middle. Jer is there. Hits the post. And, well, that was his second chance in the space of about 2 minutes to have a chance. And now Neymar, he shoots. He hits the post. And it goes wide. And that's a little bit of a let-off right there. It's 1-0. We might look to make a few tactical changes following on from this opportunity if we can. But looking at it here, Neymar going to whip in the ball. Headed away, however, well dealt with. And we do live to fight another day. Right, what changes can we make here? We are a little bit limited. JJ on a booking as our defensive midfielder is not great. I'm going to bring in Manuel Cruz for him. Jer had a bit of a so-so game. I think we'll bring in Twos on as well for him. We'll go with that double change. Perhaps a little bit of a risk to leave Almeida on the pitch, the left kind of midfielder for us today. But we don't have an alternative on the left-hand side of the pitch. And actually, you can see here, he's having a very good game despite his booking. Either way, set piece whipped in. Cruz is there, the sub. Cleared away, but only as far as Marriott. Can we recycle play? There's options out on the left. There is. Cafe whipping a ball of quality. He can't. Ball not cleared again, though. Bouchard, edge of the box. Can he make something magical happen? He decides not to. Danny Evans, the Ginger Ninja, whips it in. Almeida! I mean, he had an opportunity there. It was a clear-cut chance. Not a player renowned for his attacking capabilities. More naturally a left-back than a left midfielder, Almeida. And unfortunately for us there, he just didn't take the chance. Worth noting in the second half, Barcelona, they're yet to have a clear-cut chance still. And actually, they've not created that much since we've gone on attacking, which is good to see. But we are boldly, I guess, staying on attacking right here. We want to keep on the front foot, attack being the best form of defence. I know if I concede now, someone is going to write in the comments, why didn't you go contain for the last 5 minutes? The reason I didn't go contain is we played counter for the entirety of the start of the game and it didn't work for us. Either way, we're on the attack here. Almeida shoots. It's another clear-cut chance for him and it's another save. And at least now, we're creating a lot of opportunities really against Barcelona. In this second half, we've really fought back. It's been a rejuvenated performance. And while the ball's in, Oakley heads it. Ter Stegen holds on to it. 4 minutes left. And, well, we're still the team in complete control, really. You'd have to say Barcelona with just the 2 shots on target. And, well, 25 seconds left. This could be game over. It could be... I want to say it could be another 1-0 because we got one against Bayern Munich and one against Real Madrid before. But this has been quite deserved. Shots fairly even. Barcelona, yes, they've had more of the ball. But we've had a lot of chances, and it could have been a few more on a different day. A very impressive second half performance. We have shut up a lot of people after that. Going into the game at the Camp Nou, you know, players can have a degree of confidence. Perhaps fortunate the goal came by the way of an own goal, but nevertheless, Barcelona rock bottom of this Champions League group. And we're in a great situation here. You know, if we can win and Man City beat Inter in the next games, we should be as good as through, really. But anyway, obviously we can't dwell on it too much. We've still got a few more games left to play. One more this episode, of course. I will be back. It's going to be against Barcelona, and hopefully we can get a good result. Okay guys, so we're back here for the second game against Barcelona. Hopefully we can get another good result here at the Camp Nou this time. Since that last match you just saw, 2 matches to play, both in, of course, the Premier Division. We beat Lincoln Red Imps and Gibraltar 4-0 and 3-0. 2 good results against 2 of the teams I consider to be the 2 strongest really in Gibraltar, particularly Gibraltar Lions. Of course, they had that Sugar Daddy takeover a few years ago. They've slowly started to add some players. You know, they've got some good players. I guess Ethan Brunt being their key player, a player who we've loaned to them, gives you an idea of kind of the fact they are starting to be able to attract players, but they have got some pretty strong players of their own, particularly Mario Moreno, this guy, the striker. He's not a bad player for them, really, and good to see them progressing a little bit, but it was also good, I guess, to beat them. Anyway, we are taking on Barcelona. It's been about 2 weeks since that last game. A good result, 1-0 at home. Looking for more of the same away from home, although it's definitely going to be a different calibre of opposition than perhaps we are used to. In terms of the team, a little bit of injury news. Paul Smith actually got a hernia injury, out for 3 to 4 weeks. Of course, missed the previous game against Barcelona through suspension, got injured in training. Really not what I wanted, really. In terms of how we are going to, I think, shape up for this game, I think we're going to play Jer and Oakley, just because Jer's got a little bit more pace than Tuzon. But yeah, this is the team. We go with Young at centre-back, not centre-back, in goal. We have Mariot, Del Sol, Helmez and Freire making up our back four. I think I'm actually going to change it, and I'm going to bring in Freire at centre-back, and then we're going to play Evans at right-back. I prefer to have Freire and Helmez play centre-back for us over Del Sol. I think Danny Evans is a pretty adequate right-back, particularly defensively, and the fact he's okay in the air is nice too. But with Freire and Helmez, of course, on loan, I mean, these 2 guys, they're good players. Freire, he's not a pacey right-back. He's not great going forward. He's an amazing centre-back, and it's where he really thrives, and it kind of makes sense to play these 2 guys alongside each other. And, well, as you can see, they are pretty good players, and they're definitely capable of shutting down some of the best attacks in Europe. Anyway, in the midfield, we go with Almeida, JJ, Bouchard and Cafe. Nothing new there. Paul Smith, of course, still out, so Almeida holds the spot at left wing. Had a few chances in that last game against Barcelona. Hopefully, if any come his way today, he can get goals. And then, as I mentioned, Jer and Oakley up front. 2 pacey strikers. Oakley, of course, on loan from Arsenal, got his first ever cap for England whilst playing for us, which is kind of cool to see. Of course, on loan with us until the end of next season. The other striker, Jer, the Brazilian, another pacey player. It's kind of what we need. We're going to be playing on the counter-attack again today. And we're going to try, I guess, and do one over on Barcelona. They currently sit bottom of the group. If we just have a quick look at the group here, you can see ourselves and Manchester City make up the top 2 spots. Followed by Inter on 3 points and Barcelona on 1 point. A defeat here wouldn't be great, given how Barcelona have played so far. We kind of need to win and should be trying to win this game. We'll see how we get on here, though. Looking at their team, they're playing a 4-3-1 formation. A little bit of an interesting one, that. They've got this big gap in the midfield, which I'm hoping we can exploit. It is the system they, of course, played in the last game we played against them. Looking at their team, they've got Kennedy, who is a pretty good striker, the Brazilian. They've also got Neymar, Rafinha. They've got a lot of Brazilians, haven't they? And they've also got Rivera here, who's a French centre attacker mid who looks quite good. They've got Kondogbia, the centre defensive mid, who's also French, I believe. They've also got Paslak, and Ter Stegen. So a few good players here. I believe both their centre backs are regens. They've got this guy who's not particularly great, to be honest, the Uruguayan centre back, and they've also got this guy who is Solozabal. I will go with it. Answers on a postcard. He scored an own goal for us before. They've not got a great team, have they, Barcelona? It's worth noting, in this save, I do have Liga BBVA loaded. I do not know why Barcelona are struggling so much to seemingly attract decent defenders, but I'm not going to complain about it. Either way, let's get into the game. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see if we can make something happen. I mean, I've tried a little bit of a risky team talk, and it really hasn't paid off. Our defence looking particularly demotivated. At least I've managed to confuse them now. But I told them I expect them to get a result, which I kind of do. You know, we've beaten Barcelona 2 weeks ago. They've not got a great side. It's the same side for us pretty much that played them before. Yes, we're away from home. Yes, we're in an intimidating atmosphere. But we have a chance in this game to move top of the group and really put ourselves in such a great position with 2 games left to potentially make it to the Champions League knockout stages. Either way, looking at the stats early on here, Barcelona really bossing the game. We are playing our 4-4-2 counter, of course. When we switched our 4-4-2 attack in the last game, it really made a difference for us. We definitely played better in that second half, and already part of me thinks, you know, maybe we should play on the attack. But of course, with our counter system, all it takes is one mistake, and with, well, as we've addressed kind of Barcelona's defensive frailties in the centre of defence, maybe we can exploit something there. So we will have a chance. Almeida shoots, and, well, I said that if we get chances coming his way that he needs to take them. He's had one there, and it's been saved. And I kind of sit here and I wonder, would Paul Smith score it, the Australian? And I mean, he's got the most goals and most assists in the Champions League at the moment, the left winger, and I think it's fair to say he probably would have a chance there as Young makes a nice save. Rafinha with the shot at the edge of the box. Looking at the stats, Barcelona, they're bossing the game, they're having a lot of chances, but they've not had a clear-cut opportunity yet. And, well, with the kind of nature of our team and the way we set up, it only takes one chance to score. Oakley this time with a clear-cut chance, and he hits the post. And, well, it's fair to say Barcelona looking very susceptible to the counter, although they are kind of, I guess, attacking pretty hard at us now, and our defence is definitely being tested, as there will be another test here. Neymar drifted into the box, and it's Danny Evans. He panics. He puts in a tackle. He gives away the penalty, and now it's Neymar to step up to score from 12 yards out. Shoots. Young saves it, and the keeper somehow parries it against the post and collects it. And Neymar, well, he's bottled it. At half-time, you know, 0-0. I'm going to tell the players I'm not happy with the performance. I'm hoping they're going to react better to this one. They are. Danny Evans, right, I mean, part of me thinks maybe we should take him off. Maybe, you know, Danny, maybe this isn't a game for you, mate. You've given away a penalty. The thing is, the other issue we've got is that actually JJ and Bouchard, both our centre mids are injured. So both our centre mids are booked. So I don't want to make a change too soon. I feel like we might have to take off JJ, you know, with, I don't know, half an hour left or so, because in that defensive mid role, you're going to be putting in a lot of tackles, and when you're already on a booking, you run a risk. I mean, a draw here away from home would be a great result. And JJ, I'm always worried with him. I'm always worried with him. Anyway, Barcelona, they're on the attack here, bringing the ball forward. Nice block though, Cafe with the ball, bringing it forward. Can we break? Men on ahead with Cafe. Nice run here. Very nice run. Now can he pick out a pass? He can to Oakley. Great hold-up play by Cafe. Jair's there. Can he finish it? It's blocked. It's another clear-cut chance. We have had 3 this game. We've not taken them. And while there's immediately now actually going to be another chance, and hopefully we're not going to concede here, because we've had opportunities, and, well, Barcelona could punish us right now. Ball drifted inside. Joan with the goal, and I mean, it's probably deserved. It's probably deserved, but we've had chances. That is like the most frustrating thing about this all. We've had 3 opportunities, 3 one-on-ones. 1 was blocked, 2 were hit straight at the keeper. I mean, it's not good enough. And we hit the woodwork, of course. But this time, ball just paid inside, and it's just Joan there. Loads of space. Nice placed finish in the end, really, into the bottom right-hand corner, but I think on that note, we have to go to the 4-4-2 attack, and I feel like we have to make some changes. I'm going to bring in Valverde at centre defensive mid. I think we're also going to bring in Henderson on for Bouchard. Henderson struggling for match fitness. Bouchard only on a 6.9. Not the greatest game right now. Although, actually, I'm going to keep Bouchard on, I think, for the moment at least. I'm going to bring in Daniele Russo, coming back from injury. Not 100% fit here, but I'm going to bring him on for Jair, who's had a bit of a nightmare, really, and we'll see if the Italian can make something happen for us. We're now going to be chasing this game. We're going to kind of roll the dice a little bit, you know, go on the attack, see what we can do here. Take that little bit of a gamble, and, well, we might have a chance. Russo, the sub. Maria, options in the middle, whips it in, headed away. Only as far as Helmes, though. Now spreads it back out wide to Maria. Options in the box. Russo's there. Russo shoots. I don't know if the keeper saved it or if it hit the woodwork, but it was a chance. And it almost went in, but for a fantastic save. And I think at this point, I am going to take Bouchard off. Probably should have taken him off when the rest of the players came off. But we're going to bring in Henderson, the Brazilian, coming back from injury. You know, not match fit, but let's see if he can make something happen for us. Although we need to defend this set piece. Can we get it out? We can't. Gutierrez with the goal. Barcelona take a 2-0 lead in this game. And, well, they've been the better team across the entirety of the match, I think it's fair to say, Barcelona. But the thing that's really, I mean, what is that goalkeeping? The thing that is really disappointing about this kind of match, I think, as a whole, is just how many chances we had and didn't take. You know, 3 clear-cut chances at 0-0. if you take them, you're in such a good position. If you do what we've done there, I mean, you can only blame yourselves for losing this kind of game. You know, we've not had much of the ball. We had a few half opportunities late on in the game. That one fell to Russo, but ultimately it's going to be a disappointing 2-0 defeat, particularly off the bat of, I think, that last result against Barcelona. You know, beating them 1-0 at home was a great result, but here they have shown an element of class, I guess. But as I said, and I'll emphasise again, we had chances. We didn't take them. Russo had a half chance towards the end, but I mean, Paul Smith is a big miss for us. Looking at the league suddenly gets really, really tight, this group. Of course, next episode we will be taking on Internacional, so that'll be a big game. They're in third. If we beat them, we go into a fairly good position. If Barcelona can lose to Man City, of course, we'd go through immediately off the back of that. But unfortunately for us, football doesn't tend to go the way you want it to go. Either way, we'll bounce back from that, I'm sure. Not a terrible episode, I guess, on the whole. To get that first win was great. A little bit disappointing in this game, but nevertheless, we're still in a pretty good position in our group, and it's a pretty tough group, and we're doing okay. Anyway, that is going to wrap things up from me, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy. As always, if you have, smash the like button, leave any comments you've got down in the comments. And yeah, other than that, guys, it is me, Jack. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.